Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage with B.R.E and...
Gourmet pens!
Gourmet pens, cock-a-doodle-doo. Gourmet pens, gourmet pens. Now, today we're going to have a look at this pen. And this pen is...
That's a really horrible sound.
The Conklin Duragraph.
This is the amber finish, complete with a number 6 1.1mm stub nib.
But if you order now, you get 2 for free.
Ah, yes. What? That doesn't make any sense. This pen was sent to us to review by Goulet Pens.
Yes,
thank you, Goulet Pens. And we will give it away at the end of this video.
Yes, so keep watching. And don't scroll to the end.
Well, you can scroll to the end if you really want.
it's not allowed.
But...
you automatically exclude.
We're going to drop, like, giveaway hints. No, we're not. Anyway.
No. Anyway.
Okay.
What was your first impression of the pen?
Well, first impressions, I don't have the box anymore because I hated it. Anyway, the box is huge and it's not, I mean, it's not that it's a bad box, but the size of the box is completely ridiculous for the size of this pen. So it was like this giant box, you can see pictures of it in my review, and it was just, I mean, it's pretty, and it makes the pen look nice because, of course, it's presented in a nice, like, satiny bed, but, like, the box is huge compared to the size of the pen, so it's insane. I have a thing against packaging, you guys know this. Okay.
You're very passionate about the box.
So the box really irritated me. I'm sorry, I'm insane, but I think that my impressions of the pen were very positive because I was like, okay, there we go. This is a really pretty finish. I think that's really you can see it kind of doing its shimmery things there, and I really like stub nibs, so I was excited to try the stub nib. Okay, what were your impressions?
You're alright.
No.
No, we had a lot of sugar.
Oh, we didn't, though.
No, that's the problem. My first impressions were nice finish. Looks cool.
At first glance, right?
Yeah, at first glance, it's
pretty good
a
looking.
nice finish. It's very hard to show, but it's very, very slightly translucent. So if you hold it up to the light, you can make out the nib a little bit.
It's not even that slight. I think it's pretty decent. It's in between this blacker, darker stripes.
Exactly.
You can see the converter.
You can see the converter,
cool.
which is definitely nice. I also, for some reason, immediately thought this pen is out of proportion. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I found the barrel too long for the cap. But
I think your finger's blocking it. Why don't you hold the ends?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's a very long barrel for the cap.
Well, I think
that ends
the center
there.
band is too high up, so it kind of throws off the
maybe
balance.
it's an optical illusion.
Anyway.
In any case, that was my first impression.
All right. Shall you talk about what makes it special?
Yes, what makes it special is that it's a Conklin and a modern Conklin at that, because the Conklin, they stopped producing pens and then they were revived and now they make new pens. And this is one of them. So we have reviewed other modern Conklins, the Glider and the Endura, that's pretty much it. Look,
there's not really a whole lot that makes it special, other than the fact that it's a re-established company.
Well, and maybe what we could say is that the company does offer stub nibs, which is nice because not every company does that, especially in this price range.
And they are number 6.
Yeah, they're number 6 nibs, so that's really nice.
All right.
Okay, that's what makes it special. Now,
let us talk about the writing experience.
A lot of sugar, lots and lots of it.
This number 6 stub. Well, first of all, it needed a really thorough cleaning, and that's
why is this so oddly composed? By the way, you're almost out of there. Much better.
Sorry. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't really annoying. That's not a terrible thing. I'm just pointing out that it needed a really thorough cleaning before it performed.
Always a good idea.
Yeah. This is not unusual. I mean, it's not like this is unique to this pen. It was actually not bad. I found the nib quite smooth. It is an untipped nib. Oh, it's not gonna be able to show it. Well, untipped. It was actually quite smooth. Decent ink flow, not super wet, but not dry. Nice line variation with some pressure. You could press on the nib a bit, but the feet can't keep up with that, and that's not unreasonable. It was not bad. I thought I really like stub nibs, so I always like to try out different stub nibs, and I thought this one was pretty decent. So in terms of the nib, pretty good. In terms of the pen, I like the section. I think the section is quite comfortable. It has a nice little like indent there. Oh yeah. That's nice. For me, it's not too long. It doesn't have to be posted, and I think for most people, you don't even need to post it. It's not very heavy. This is the ridiculous part. If you really have to post your pen, or if it's just slightly too short and you want to post it, this is what happens when you post it. So it doesn't even go past this. So it just sits on there, and that's as far as it goes. I mean, that's a bit silly. Anyway.
I'll pick it up.
Sorry, fell on the carpet, don't worry. But as far as the nib goes, very nice. Eh?
Yeah, absolutely. My writing experience was also quite pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised. Both the glider and the Endura that I tried with the same nibs were too dry to be used. They kept drying out. Even with normal writing, half a page and the pen just stopped writing. Poor performance. This pen did not.
Which is why we wanted to try another stub, just to see what the consistency was like.
It kept up very well, and that is obviously how it should be. But it's nice that it is, right? It's nice that it writes. I also found it quite smooth. It's definitely not a very sharp italic. It's more like a stub in its the way the corners are shaped, I think.
Pen stub.
Pen stub, yes. But I mean, those terms are confused sometimes.
Yeah, it is quite rounded. So the edges are not crisp.
Yeah, so
it's pretty forgiving in terms of nib alignment.
If you're handling, it won't really come to the paper very easily. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So my writing experience was quite pleasant.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent nib.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you love about it?
Well, I do like the nib.
Serious.
I do like the performance of the nib. It's a pleasant writer. I do also like the section. I do think the section is pleasant to hold. So those are nice things about it. I also like the material. It's very pretty. It's a nice material, and I was pleasantly surprised by all of these things. What about you?
Yeah, I think since they actually released these, I was watching them because I was like, that is a really pretty pen. And it sort of reminds me of the Edison Antique Marble acrylic. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really pretty. So I was quite, interested in the color of it. And I also like, I often receive questions about, look, I just bought this pen, how do I fill it or how do I use it? This pen comes with this card, refill instructions. I think this is nice. I mean, especially because of the price. I think a lot of newer users might venture into this pen, so I think that's cool. Yeah. The nib was really cool. It came with a converter, comfortable section. So there were quite a few things I enjoyed about it. What do you not like, Aziza?
What do you not like, Aziza?
Do you want to talk about what you don't like first?
Sure.
Well, I can tell you what I don't like. I hate this clip. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I know it's really silly. This clip design is so frequently used, I guess, that it just really does nothing for me. And also, I'm going to try and... That is so unusable. I'm like tearing off my nail trying to lift it. So I would sure as heck not put that into a shirt pocket.
Unless you hate the shirt.
Unless you hate the shirt. If it's like something your friend or mom or grandmother or in-law bought you and you're like, oh my god, I can't wear this ever again. Just put it in there when they see you and then like rip it out really hard and then be like, oh no, the shirt! Yeah. I don't know.
That's great reasoning.
Maybe the
thing.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, there is a thing.
Look, it's a $45-$50 pen, so I find that
you see the thing. You see the thing right there. That's just a weird bump of non-polished material or a bubble.
It's not a huge deal. It's just that it's just a physical thing. It doesn't affect its performance.
But also, there's a
giant hole for the clip.
Here under the clip, you can see that's not really the tightest tolerance in the world. It's a pretty,
again, not a huge deal.
I would say it's a full millimeter of a gap, so that's actually quite big.
Yeah, not a huge deal.
No, but it's just all stuff that adds up.
But also, I mean, I've only had this for a few months, and on the finial, I do put my pens in cases. So, on the finial, they're around here, the color is starting to chip, like the black is starting to chip off already, and you can just see some metal underneath. So, I think it's not a bad pen, but I think in a year or two, it's gonna look pretty used, which is not a used pen is not a bad thing, but
an ugly used pen.
It almost feels like it's gonna become a user body, if that makes sense, user grade body. So I also, like you said, the balance. This is really nitpicking, sorry, but I think the center band should be lower because right now it makes this look like the cap is super short. When it's not that short, if you see, see else. Anyway, the posting is kind of silly.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean,
so if I don't need to use it posted, but if you find that this is just a bit too small and you have to post it, it becomes absurdly long and it's kind of silly.
I don't have to post it either. It's definitely.
But some people post, right?
But if there are people who post everything, forget about it because this is.
Forget about it.
It's pretty absurd. I mean, this doesn't work. It's
anyway, this is all just nitpicking on the body. The nib was decent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it performed well and much better than the last two Conklins we have used.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a really positive development.
Also, I think it's really pretty.
It is definitely a very pretty body, and you also have to look at what it's priced at. I mean, at $44.
Yes. So I guess we can kind of lead into would you buy it. It is $44 at Goulet Pens. And would you buy it?
I would not buy this.
Why not?
The reason being that it to me it has too many oddities, like the barrel length, the weird postability, and the tolerances I don't care about so much because you don't see it that much. But indeed, yeah, it's just for me this is just not right. It's just the proportion and everything is just not right. It's a pretty pen for sure. It would definitely make a nice gift. I'm sure it's a great starter pen, but
or get someone into pens.
I would not buy this.
Yeah, I agree. I would not buy it either. Mostly for design elements because I'm just picky. It's really stupid. I mean, the clip for me, I really hate these clips. And the top of the cap is wide and it just slims out, which is not bad, but I don't like how it looks. So I like the finish. I also don't really like flat blunt ends. Yeah, flat tops. I like a slightly more streamlined, even if it's not completely rounded, but just a little bit. So it's just a design thing. I think the nib performed well.
Yeah, that's of course, I mean, again, it's important that it writes flawlessly, I think, and it is fairly affordable.
But the reason there are so many fountain pens on the market to choose from is because not everybody likes the same pen. So.
Exactly, and that's great. So
but is it serious nibbage? Well,
no.
The serious nibbage meter. Not serious, and a scale that has no numbers because this is not an exact science. For me, I actually think this is not a bad point. I think it's a decent.
By all means.
I think it's a good price.
Yeah.
Because it's very pretty. It does come with a converter. The nib was very decent, but I mean the clip is just so generic, and the tolerance for me is, well, I mean, if you actually look, you can see the giant hole under the clip, and so it's kind of like that could have been done better. And it's starting to chip already.
Yeah, it's just off the mark, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just it's not a bad pen.
But it writes. So
right.
then you have to give a thumbs up for
Absolutely.
that. And it's very pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, the finish is very pretty. So
If you want a knockabout pen, you could do a lot worse than get this.
And if you want to experiment with a stub nib, it's not a bad one because it is forgiving, it is smooth. So it's kind of in between for me. I'm not hugely in love with it, but.
Now imagine you have $44 to spend and you want to buy a pen, but you don't want this. What would you gippity get?
Well, look, in this range, you can always do something lower, like a Noodler's Ahab or Conrad, and then you can even pick up an extra spare nib and put on those, and then you're about the same price.
You could get a Lamy Safari.
You get
not
a
the same
Safari.
price, but it will definitely write.
You could get a Kaweco Sport, but you could also get something like the TWSBI Eco.
Yeah.
With a stub nib.
Yeah.
Also 1.1 millimeter.
And
you
then
get a piston filler.
Also a good nib. Yeah, that's a good alternative.
I mean, it's not a. What are you doing? It's not a bad pen. It's just not. I'm not crazy about it. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. But
giveaway.
I think at that price, not bad.
Giveaway.
A lot of options. Anyway, giveaway.
Giveaway of this pen. This very pen.
This very pen.
What do you need to do to enter?
Enter. Well, why don't you leave a comment down below on the YouTube video and let us know what your favorite stub nib is.
Yeah.
Stub nib. Have we asked that question already?
No.
I don't know.
What's your favorite stub nib? Answer the question.
Consider giving us a thumbs up if you like serious nibbage.
And then maybe you will win the pen. The winner will be notified 72 hours after the
we'll pick a
video
winner
goes up.
in 72 hours. We'll close off entries. Yeah,
that's
right? Yeah.
We'll pick the winner.
Yeah.
And then we reply to your post on YouTube. So
let you know.
If we can't respond, some people have their profile set up in such a way that you can't respond to their comments, then we cannot respond. So then it will go to someone else.
Well,
and that's all that's to it.
Yeah, so just let us know. And also, thank you to Goulet Pens for sending this, and also that because now we can give it away to you. And I think, also open worldwide.
Yes, of course.
So, because just in case we were unclear about that, which I think we have been, because we have not said open worldwide, but we have not said otherwise, so I would just assume that it is.
That's it. We hope this was useful.
Very useful. Very
and
serious.
We will gladly
Very nibbage.
See you later.
See you next time.
Bye.
He's channeling Windy. Okay, turn it off. Bye. I'm Rutte. I am Rutte. Okay, hi.
Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage, where today, SbRebrown and
Gourmet Pens.
Gourmet Pens. Gourmet Pens.
Okay, today
I used to have a Walkman. You could put cassettes in when they had batteries, and then as the batteries ran out, your music started to sound like that.
A Walkman?
A Walkman, that's what we call it. A mobile cassette player. Anyway, shut up, let's just do this. Today we'll have a look at this pen, and this is, of course, the Italics.
Parsons. No. Stop it. You're also
Did you say Did you want to say
You're also not
Did you want to call me
You're not
You looked at me as
sweater.
if you wanted